Let's give it a couple more minutes and then we can send out the recording to for anybody that misses the beginning. Let's give it a couple more minutes and then we can send out the recording to for anybody that. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can.
Beginning. It's weird. Let me see what I can do. Okay. All right. I think I fixed it. It's getting like a weird feedback.
The live stream feedback.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll get started here in just a minute. We're going to wait for maybe a couple more people to come on. Maybe give us another minute or two. Thanks for joining us. And Amber, I don't know, for the live stream, can you see anyone who's joining the chat or?
We live stream it in private just so that we can share it out through YouTube afterwards.
Gotcha. So we'll cut it out later.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, if you we won't show your faces, but if you want to ask a question later, just keep in mind it might end up on a YouTube video at some point.
Yeah, my name's Amber, by the way, so I'll be monitoring the chat. If anybody has any questions or specific things that they want to get more information about as the presentation goes on, feel free to pop them in there for me and I'll do everything that I can to help you out.
Cool. Well, you just want to get started?
Sounds good to me.
All right, everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started. And if anybody else joins us, we'll just let them all in. My name is Russell Shoemaker, and I work with the transfer students here at CCS. I was a transfer student myself, so a little bit of solidarity there. I actually transferred like 2.5 times. So yeah, that process is really not always the greatest. So I'm here to help you out throughout that process. And I'll actually be your main point of contact. So I'll definitely put my contact info in the chat before we get out of here. But feel free to reach out to me at any point, even if you're not ready to transfer right away. If you're thinking about transferring in a few years, we can still have a short conversation about maybe like what some good pathways are for you. And then Amber, who just spoke, is the director of transfer admissions. I think I got that right, Amber? So Amber, you were a transfer student too, right?
Yeah, I was a transfer student to CCS a long time ago. So
cool, awesome. So yeah, Amber wears many hats. So she is also dedicated to making your transfer to CCS as easy as possible. So you're in good hands with both of us, hopefully. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to turn off my video just because this is kind of an image-heavy presentation. I want to make sure that you're able to see everything. Cool. Okay, let's get started. This wants to go. There we go. Okay. So before we dive into the deep end of all the transfer information here, I just wanted to take a moment to really highlight why so many students consider transferring to CCS and just how unique our programs are. So CCS, I like to start off with an alumni story because, I mean, you can browse so many of our alumni stories on our YouTube page or our website, but I think Sarah here is a really great example of someone who came to CCS. She came actually from South Africa as an art practice major, meaning that she really wanted to study more traditional like fine art practices like think painting or printmaking. But then she watched a professor making CGI work and decided that that was what she wanted to do. Like she figured it out right there. This is what I want to do. And she, went on that path and is now working in Detroit at Armstrong White as a CGI artist. But clearly she's also worked for some big budget movie productions, such as Black Panther and one of the Justice League movies. So I think she's just a really wonderful example of what you can do with the CCS education. So CCS is very committed to preparing you to work within creative fields. And that really starts with our career development coaches here at CCS. They are laser focused on finding opportunities and preparing CCS students for jobs specific to art and design. And they do this, the Career Development Office does this. They work with your chosen major and the Office of Strategic Partnerships to provide on-campus networking and recruitment, meaning that the companies are coming to you in your classrooms. And seriously, like if you ever find yourself on the fence about coming to CCS, try coming to our end of semester show to see the work that is directly displayed to hundreds of companies. It's the same work that the companies are seeing. You'll see the same work that the companies are seeing. So you are just not going to find that kind of dedication at a lot of art and design schools. Like there are hundreds of companies that come to interact with our students. So it's a really unique place. We also, of course, have some really wonderful faculty here. And that's one of the reasons why our partnerships with creative companies work so fluidly here. And that is because the faculty at CCS are required to be leaders in their industries, meaning that they are still required to be active within their fields. We have faculty who have been past presidents of design businesses, creative directors, design leads, and as well as successful working artists, entrepreneurs, freelancers, consultants, and just a wealth of experience to learn from. And CCS as a whole only has about 1,400 students. So imagine kind of condensing all that knowledge into just a few students, relatively just a few students for the size of the school. That means we're able to keep our class and studio sizes, small. And that allows us to have a 10-to-1 student to teacher ratio, which at most schools you would expect, I think on the good side of things, maybe 18-to-1. It goes even higher if you're going to a large lecture course or if you're going to a large university. So that is a huge difference between CCS and a state school or another type of program. The small class sizes are really important for creatives because it's one of the best ways to learn. Not only are you learning one-on-one with your professors, but you're also observing how your peers problem solve. You're engaging in faculty-led conversations about assignments that you're asked to complete. And you're constantly getting creative feedback. And that is just a really unique opportunity that you don't often find outside of school. All right. Not only do we have the faculty and the studio spaces that kind of segue you into real world creative, a creative industry experience, but we also have renowned facilities at your fingertips. So we have 3 campus galleries. We have multiple equipment labs where students can get free access to everything from costumes to high definition video equipment, as well as like state-of-the-art computer or fabrication labs. There's so much here. Obviously, you can look at this huge list. There is just so much to choose from here to really dig into, to really have an immersive experience within CCS's campus. Oop, is that working? There we go. CCS, I think it's just designed to give you every opportunity you can to make the best work possible. And something that we often hear from CCS alumni and as well as current students is they feel like they have found their home here. So being surrounded by so many like-minded individuals, fellow artists, designers, gamers, sci-fi enthusiasts, whatever your niche is, you're almost certainly going to find a group that shares your interests and supports and accepts you and helps you grow as an artist, as a designer. It's just a really, I think, once in a lifetime sort of atmosphere here at CCS. So yeah, working on kind of, there we go. There we go. And it's not just the campus. So Detroit itself offers so much opportunity with a thriving art scene that is full of galleries and museums and art nonprofits. It's as well as foundations that help bring art education and awareness to Detroit. It's a really unique city in and of itself. But Detroit historically has always had a rich legacy of design and innovation. And it has, historically transformed the way the world has worked, moved, and lived. And the city has been a hub for creatives, and it's home to iconic designers, artists, and craftsmen, all the way back to the arts and crafts movement, to American modernism, to the present day. And that history, paired with all the recent innovations happening in Detroit, in design and transportation and city planning, actually led the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, better known as UNESCO, to name Detroit a global city of design. And I believe we are the only one in America to have that distinction. So that is pretty incredible, which also, in turn helps us attract more top design talent to invest in our region, which means there is more opportunity for CCS students. So Detroit is really going through a renaissance. It's been going through a renaissance for the last, dozen years or so, but creatives are really, they are playing the vital role in how the city is being shaped. And, even going as far to, find new ways to combat gentrification through advocacy, through visualization and design, through, using the community of local designers to maintain the rich cultural heart that the city has always had. So it's a really unique place to be at right now. I've been very impressed every time I've come here. I never thought I'd be working for a school in Detroit, but it's a really unique city. And hopefully if you've never been here before, you can come check it out. Just do it when it's warm. So you have a part, you can play a part in this right now, which is really great. If you think about where New York City was decades ago, it also went through some changes that Detroit is going through now. And that is really where all those big name artists that are tied to New York City came from. So I think it's a really unique place to be in. Sorry, this presentation is a little slow on my end. Hopefully you can see it. All our majors also have unique required courses and electives to offer you plenty of time and plenty of opportunity to focus in different areas. So you will choose a major, of course. You can also do a minor alongside those. There are about 20 different minors. There's an art education certification. That means if you want to teach K through 12, you can definitely do that. It does tack some time onto your degree, but the students who go through that program have had some really wonderful success in recent years. So there's plenty to choose from here. But not only are you really engaged in your studio art courses, you're also taking liberal arts classes. And then if you're pursuing a minor, you might also be taking those courses. But these are all designed to flow and work perfectly with your majors. So that means that we are really focused on what artists need, what designers need, and that goes all the way down to your art history courses, that goes all the way down to your science courses. They're really considering how artists think, how they learn. So it really creates a really wonderful learning opportunity. All right. So, and that brings me to, how are you spending more time in your studio than other, if you were to pursue a typical BA. We actually offer a BFA. So if you're pursuing a BFA, excuse me, that is much different than a BA in that it requires more concentrated study in your intended area of expertise. So for visual arts degrees, this basically means that you're doing 2/3 of your time in school in your studio courses. So hands-on, working with your peers, working with your professors, and that gives you a significantly more time to just be immersed in your pursuits, to build up a portfolio, to learn all those key skills that are really going to set you apart when you graduate and you start looking for a creative job. Okay. So it's time to get into the transfer specific information. So this is what a degree over 4 years is going to look like at CCS. Keeping in mind that you might have some transfer credits coming in, obviously you're transfer students, but this shows you that for all of our different degrees, they're going to require about 126 credits in total for admitted transfer students. So on average, this is 14 courses focused in the liberal arts, and it has 4 courses in art history or visual culture, along with requirements in composition, business of arts, that we're going to teach you business, literature. And so there's so many different requirements within the liberal arts focus, but they are, like I said, specific to your major, as well as being like general requirements. So that's really wonderful. So if you want to transfer into our program, the earlier you meet with us usually is best. That way we can take a look at what kind of credits you have. Maybe we can find some credits for you to take at your local college that will help you transfer in. And we can maybe take a look at your portfolio too and see, you know, maybe some areas that you're missing, that sort of thing. But so a lot of those liberal arts courses you can get at a community college. The rest of the 84 credits within this breakdown are all art and design courses. So as you can see, that is about 2/3 of your time at CCS, focused in your art and design classes, building up your portfolio skills, and, you know, talking to other students about, you know, what you're making and engaging in those conversations. And it starts as soon as the first semester. So that is, if you were just coming in as a first-year freshman, that is what it would look like, but it is not that. So basically, this is what you'll be looking at when you transfer in. All right, so keeping that in mind, as you can see, that's a lot, and you may not have all of these credits coming in. So you come in as, say, a sophomore or a junior, but we have recently introduced a new degree called Interdisciplinary Art and Design. This was designed with transfers in mind. So this is meant to help you transfer in with all of your credits, especially if you're coming in with an associate's degree specific to art. Oops. Sorry. So this is not only for transfer students. Obviously, other students, first-time freshmen, can join this degree. But this new major provides a level of flexibility that is on par with what you might find at like a university that is going to allow you to transfer in all 60 of your credits. But it still has triple D studio art courses. So you're still doing those 2/3 art courses that aren't available in your typical BA program. So this is really nice. So you can basically follow any major here within interdisciplinary art and design. And you do that by working one-on-one with the interdisciplinary department, and they work with the major that you're interested in. You still have professional preparation, you still have access to studios, you still have all the opportunities that you would get coming in as a first-time freshman to CCS. But it just allows you to come in with your associate's degree and complete your BFA in a timely manner. So if you apply to, let's say, game design, if you really want to go into game design, that's what you want to do. You can always choose this as a backup just in case not all of your credits come in, and you can still essentially follow the game design pathway. Is that about right, Amber?
Yeah, and it's something that, you know, allows for a little bit of exploration too. So, you know, if you say you took game design or animation at your community college, you could come in and continue to take some game design courses, but also explore with maybe like some conceptual illustration or other things that help kind of supplement and create different paths.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, so let's get into what we need from you in order to apply to CCS. So it's really simple. This is one of the simplest applications I've seen at many different schools. So you can complete the free online application in probably under 30 minutes. We do not require reference letters. You can send them if you want to, but we don't require them. We don't require a big essay or anything like that. We just need your basic information. So that takes a very short amount of time, very easy to complete. You can do that on our website. We'll be sure to give you all those links. Now, here it gets a little trickier after that. So if you went to multiple schools like I did, I went to, I think, about 3 different community colleges before transferring. You need to submit a transcript from each one of those institutions. And we are going to look at your transfer credit by credit. Anything that is a C or higher will be considered for transfer credit here at CCS. So we're going to look at it all, and we're going to give you as much credit as humanly possible. You can, if you want to, like, let's say you are currently in courses and it's going to cost you $15 to submit your transcript from Student Clearinghouse or Parchment. You can go ahead and submit an unofficial copy to us, or even email it to me directly. A lot of times you can find those on your student portal of the school you're currently at. And when you finally finish up those credits, you'll have to submit the official one before entering CCS officially. As long as it has your name, your grades, and we can clearly see what course it is and the codes, as well as the college that is from, we can probably take a look at that to see what kind of credit you might be getting. All right, and then finally is, of course, the portfolio. So you only have to submit up to 8 pieces overall to the portfolio. However, I like to say, if you've taken a lot of art and design classes at a college, be sure to keep those, take photographs of all those assignments that you've completed, take photographs of all those different art pieces that you've spent a lot of time on, even if it's just like a picture from your phone in good lighting, because we may need to see those to award you credit for those courses. So I think it's a really good practice to just keep those in maybe a Google folder, keep them organized by maybe what class they were. Because if you're applying to CCS and like 3 other schools, we might want to see them, they might want to see them. So it's just a good practice to do. All right. So let's see. If you have any concerns about the portfolio, once again, feel free to set an appointment with me. I have plenty of appointments available through Calendly. We can also text. We can also hop on the phone for a minute. I do have 15-minute appointments on Calendly, which are good just for like general questions. And I have 30 to 45-minute appointments if you really want to get into your credits, if you really want to get into a lot of questions, or if you want to go through your portfolio together and really decide like what pieces might fit best, what pieces might give you, might make the strongest portfolio. So a lot of different options for you there. We've been doing it for a while, so we definitely are happy to help you out there. Okay, sorry, my computer's lagging a little bit. Hopefully you can see this. So if you are not ready to apply, if you are, like I said, if you are thinking about applying and transferring here in a year or two, still feel free to like set an appointment with me. We can kind of have a conversation about what courses might work, what plans you're currently enrolled in, and we can take a look at all that and make recommendations. So other questions that commonly come up, first of all, like what kind of financial aid are you going to get here? So the best thing you can do is just apply to understand what your full financial aid packet will be. So we do give out merit scholarships for every student who is admitted to CCS, and that is based on the strength of your portfolio, and it's based on the strength of your grades. So if you are really focused in your art classes and are maybe letting those science classes slip down to like a D or a C, make sure to reach out to any sort of help at your community college to maybe get some tutoring or something along those lines. Make sure to keep those grades up as high as you can. So that is one part of it. The other part of it is the FAFSA. So if you are already submitting your FAFSA to every year for your community college that you're going to, you can always add CCS's CEIB code to allow us to have access to that information. That way, when you're admitted to CCS, hopefully, and you get your merit scholarship, we can also send you your financial aid packets. And from there, like if it still means that CCS is not affordable for you, I say come back and talk to us. And that's a good thing to remember if you're applying to other schools as well. Don't ever be afraid to advocate for yourself. Don't ever be afraid to come back and speak with us if it looks like it's unaffordable. We try to work with people who are coming from all different walks of life. So don't be afraid to reach out. We are also a Phi Theta Kappa transfer honor roll school. I believe we're the only art and design school with that distinction, which is really incredible. If you are part of PTK, I believe you also get another small scholarship on top of your merit scholarship for that. Another thing to keep in mind is that, as you can see up there in the corner, 35% of the student body at CCS are transfer students. When I transferred to the art school I went to, which wasn't CCS, it was still a really great school, I was like one of 5 transfer students. So I didn't know anybody. It was really awkward for that first semester. So don't be alarmed. Like, you're going to be in the same boat with a lot of students coming in. So that's really great to keep in mind. All right. See if I missed anything there. I don't think so. So I guess we'll open it up for questions, and I'll turn my video back on. Any questions in the chat? Let's see here. All right, Brendan, let's see here. Okay, my question was if there's a difference between transferring an associate's degree as a whole or transferring credits individually. As in, should I finish my associates next semester or planned, or should I take some credits at CCS? Okay, that's a really great question. You do not need to complete your associate's degree. That's just for any place, and a lot of places that you transfer to, especially art and design schools. While an associate's degree is great to have, and it can be a great personal achievement to unlock, it does not necessarily 100% guarantee that you're going to come in with those 60 credits or so. That is part of the reason why we created that interdisciplinary art and design degree, was to make sure that we could get you hopefully all of those credits. But let's say you are coming in with a graphic design focus from a community college. Communication design, which is our version of graphic design, they're going to take a look at that. They're going to give you as many credits as that will fit into their program. But it may not equate to the full 60, okay? And that goes doubly for students who are coming in with just a general associate's degree. We're going to look at those liberal arts courses. We're going to give you as many credits as possible. And we try to be as generous as possible, but we're not going to give you so many credits that you're not going to use. So let's say only 18 of those credits are going to actually transfer into CCS. We're not going to pretend to give you 30 if they're just going to be electives, and they're just going to mean that you graduate with more elective credit. So we try to make sure that we're giving you all the credits that we can give you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. Yeah, that's a really great question.
Maybe I'll schedule another meeting with you to look at what I have scheduled personally, to see if it will necessarily apply.
Oh yeah, we talked not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in interdisciplinary.
Yeah,
and, like you, CCS will be my third school, so it's just trying to get it out of the way early.
Yeah, don't transfer in grad school. I did that too, so I'm a repeat offender.
So it's only next fall transfers, right? Next semester is too soon.
So you can definitely transfer. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. So if you want to transfer for winter, it is a little trickier. You have to have the right credits and all that stuff. But you can submit for winter if you'd like to. Go ahead and book an appointment with me.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know if it makes a difference that I'm in the certificate program there now, if that will help me at all, or.
Oh, you're currently taking certificate courses at CCS, right?
Yes.
Okay, and maybe Amber can chime in here. Amber, do you mind chiming in about that one? Totally cool if you don't want to though.
Hey, absolutely. So I apologize. I was reading the next one and looking up a link for the MTAs, but you were asking about, I'm sorry.
So he's taking some certificate courses at CCS right now.
Oh, cool. So we don't grant credit for the certificate courses in general.
Okay.
But depending on what they are, so I believe like some of the modeling programs.
It's that is what I'm in.
Okay.
The clay.
So, all right. Yeah. So the PAM program in the past, there have been students that have petitioned for credit for that one. So
Okay.
yeah, let me know when you get to the point where you're applying and.
Yeah, really, I guess what I'm thinking about is if it's worth it to finish my associates next winter, or if I should try and transfer to CCS next winter. If maybe it'll work out with what I have, or because it is a design associate, so there may be a little more transferring.
You could always apply for winter. That's totally fine. We could take a look at it, and if we feel like it is a better fit for the fall, or you feel like it's a better fit for the fall, we can always move you. So there's no harm. And,
okay, I'll definitely schedule a meeting with you one-on-one, because I know these are pretty me specific questions.
Perfect. And then just make sure to get in your application and everything if you're thinking about fall, because we want to make sure that you have enough time to consider your financial aid and all that stuff. So
yeah, right.
Everything as quick as possible.
The other question I had was as far as transcripts go, and I guess this kind of ties into what I just said. Is it better to wait till I quote unquote finish the degree to send a transcript because everything will be on it?
No, you can send.
I tried to send it now and it was saying it'll only send classes I've already completed, which wouldn't include the semester or next semester.
Okay. You could go ahead and send us unofficial transcripts if you want to. Anything, like I said, like as long as it has all the information. So like the course number, the school it's coming from, your name on it. Yeah, and the grades. So you could just screenshot that or pull a PDF of it and we'll take a look at it. You can email that to me directly. That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good questions. All right. Does CCS for the MTA? Okay, so similar question for the MTA. That is an agreement we have with the state. So most of those credits are going to be liberal arts courses. So those are going to come in, and really what they're going to do is alleviate a lot of the courses you have to take next to your studio courses. So it's going to make your semester a little bit lighter. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to speed up your time at CCS. But it could in some cases. Is that about right, Amber?
Yeah, I would actually go so far as to say that so the MTA, it gets built into the Michigan transfer pathways. And for those that are listening that don't know what the MTA is, it's the Michigan Transfer Agreement, and it's a block of 30 credits that are all general education. So there's no studio in there. It just kind of helps students have a little bit of guidance for knocking out some of like those core college courses. So your composition, your basic humanities, science, math, stuff like that. But the state got together and they put together these statewide pathways, including one for studio art. So if you're getting into art and design, but you haven't really figured out exactly what you want to go into just yet, and you're not committed to doing a full associate's, the MI transfer pathway is building on top of that MTA and gives you an opportunity to take a couple of your foundation courses and then a few different studios as well. And that goes really well into the interdisciplinary art design program too.
Perfect. Thank you. These are good questions.
I also put a link in our chat for those of you that are joining us tonight to both the MTA guides and the MI transfer pathways.
Let me put in my link here. I know it's on here, but feel free to schedule an appointment with me. All right. Any other last minute questions? You can also email me too if you have any that pop up. I'll go ahead and put my email address in here. Make sure you copy this before the chat is closed. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff this week. You definitely like get on the events, the virtual events page of CCS, and see we have a portfolio presentation coming up. So just some good practices for portfolio submissions, as well as there's lots of stuff coming up. Like if you want to meet the majors that you're interested in, they always have different events coming up. So make sure you're checking your email. If you're like me and you don't like to look at your email all the time, you can always just check the events page and register for some of those events. Or even if you're close to Detroit, come and see us in person.
Yeah, we also have at the end of the month, if you're in the Michigan area, make sure you come by National Portfolio Day.
Good point. Forgot about that one. Yeah, National NPD is wonderful. Really, it's just a great time to get a lot of feedback on your work. Realistically, you can probably meet with like 4 to 5 schools because sometimes the lines are kind of long. But if you just Google search National Portfolio Day, it'll take you right there. You can register for the one in Detroit. You get to see the campus. You get to visit with people who work at CCS. I'll be there. A lot of people will be there.
You there as well?
Cool.
All right. Well, happy National Transfer Student Week, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russell.
Thanks. Take care.
Thanks, Betty.
Bye.
All right.
All right. Still there?
I am.